Welcome back to Danger Aware Animation Department. Today we're going to be going over how to change clothing on a character, and we're going to introduce you to Selari, the twin of our character Telar. So we have Selari and Telar, 4-year-old twins, and this one here is Selari. So let's get into it. To do one more thing, and I want to show you how I do that, but before I do that, I want to show you how to operate her in an animation. So if you wanted to create an animation from this particular puppet, you would start in the animation frames, of course, and then you would grab the manipulate bone tools. And let's start with her hands. Not many people just stand with their hands like this with straight fingers pointing down. So if her hands were to be just to her side, we might want to just curl these fingers in a little bit like this, so that it doesn't look quite so unnatural in how she's holding her hand there. And we can bring the thumb out a little bit or something like that. It's just so that she doesn't look so basically posed as a stiff mannequin, you know. So each of these fingers can be controlled individually. Now if we wanted to, say, show the palm of her hand, we would want those fingers straightened back up, and which we can do before or after, but we grab this bone, and this allows us to twist the hand outward or twist it inward. So you can see this is the back of the hand, and you know, while everything is not exactly perfect, it is fully functional. We can make the hand do pretty much any kind of hand pose that we might need to do. So there's that. And both hands will do the same thing, so it's very easy to just manipulate the hands to, you know, make any kind of pose you want. So as you can see, even with a little bit of bend in the fingers, that still looks fairly natural. So we'll just curve these out, and then a little bit, just a little bit of round effect to the fingers there. And let's go ahead and bring that on in about like that. So that's how we manipulate the hands. And you know, with the blue bones on it, it doesn't really look good. So if we render, then you can see that it does look pretty decent. Perfect, no, but it's something we can work with during animation. Makes it easy to get the hand basically posed. Then you can go in and go, well, we don't want that hanging out there that much. Let's bring, but we don't want to bring that finger way over there, but we could if we needed to. But we want to, sometimes you're going to have to zoom in to get the right bone. So put that back where it belongs and bring this thumb like that. So now we've got a more natural looking hand pose there. So, and if we render this, you can see that the character looks fairly decent. And it takes a moment to render, but there we go. We've got our hands showing. So now we need to go, well, what about those feet, you know? So let's go down and look at the feet. As you can see, there are the ankle, the foot, and the toes for the bones. And we can manipulate the foot sideways and back. And I'm not sure if I applied it on the socks for the toe. I did. So you can wiggle the toes and show that the socks are moving to the movement of the toes there. And we can move the foot to either direction, so it's easy to make the character walking left, walking right, or just standing with a particular pose, you know. And then this bone allows us to change what the character is wearing on their foot. So just like Telar, she's got the sandal, the barefoot, and now this is where all the toe bones really come in, because we can wiggle each toe to make the character even more alive as we're doing manipulations. If we want to show the child with the barefoot, we can do that. And of course, the turning of the foot occurs just as easy as with the sock on. Is it perfect? Again, no, but it will pass for a cartoon, I think. So there we go. That's how we do the feet. And she can wear sandals, a sock, a shoe without a sock, a shoe with a sock. And I don't like this clodhopper shoe for her. That's basically the shoe I built for Telar. So I'm probably going to streamline the shoes a little bit sometime in the future to make her shoes look more dainty. And of course we can also add additional shoes as time goes on. So we can have either foot wearing a shoe, one shoe on, one shoe off, one shoe on with a sock. And then on the sock, we can change the look of the sock simply by going into styles and going to the socks 1 and socks 2. Socks 1 is the base color of the sock, which is white here. And then socks 2 is the stripes around the sock. And so if you wanted just straight bobby socks that were white, you simply make the stripes white so that they're the same color as the shoe or the rest of the sock. So, and we can do that easier by selecting the eyedropper here, and we select the color of the sock, and then we do that with the border color too, and then that gets rid of our stripes on our socks. So there we go. So you can have bobby socks, and you can go in and bring the socks down the leg a little bit to be closer to the shoe. But that's basically how we can change everything on the shoes and socks. So I'm going to change that all back to the way we had it. Well, I thought I was. Apparently it's picking other stuff up. So, oh, that's the shoe. Here we go. So we want socks with pink, red, pink. We can easily do that. Different shades of pink, orange, green, whatever we want. We can make new socks on the fly at any time. So it's really easy to update this character to new exciting clothing. You know, even though it's the same old clothing we've got on here right now, they will be able to be updated as we get better artists. So there's the shoes. So we did the same similar thing here for the lower clothing. So there's bare, and then underwear, and then short pants. You got to be a little bit controlling here. Short pants, then long dress, which is her static look. Looks like I need to do some work here on the feet with the short pants. But then there's the dress, and then the sweatpants, long pants, and that's it. I didn't give her dress pants like I did with Telar. So that's the range of character pants, and what we're going to do here in a minute is going to add a short dress. So you can see that the long dress is there for quite some time. So we'll take and break that in half and make a short dress as well, so that you can see how to change the clothing should you want to build new clothing to add for the character. So I'm missing a sock and shoe over here for some reason. Oh, because I've been playing with the shoes. So let's see here. Yeah, there we go. So you can I should be able to do bare though and have that leg showing, so I'll need to fix that. But anyway, there we go. We've got the feet. There's a little bit of fixing I still need to do. So this list brings the legs up and down for them to pelvis, so that when the character sits down, we can bring the legs up like they belong. When they jump, we can show a jump effect. So then we've got the turn left and right, so that we can see the character's hips turning. Then this is the upper clothing, so we can change to bare, and the sleeves are separate from the, where is it? The sleeves are separate from the clothing so that you get even more possibilities. So we put a short t-shirt, an undershirt, then we've got sleeves for that, and then short sleeves, long sleeves. So this shirt can have any sleeve that's in the series. Then we've got a longer shirt, then an even longer shirt, and a shirt with buttons and a tie, which we can go to no tie. Let's see, I think the tie is over here. Yeah, so you can go to a bow tie, a regular tie, a bolo tie, no tie. So basically it's the same as Telar, so that we can dress them the same basically. And then this is to change pockets on the shirt. So any shirt can have pockets, one pocket on either side, but no pockets, both pockets, or both pockets with buttons. So if I zoom in, that's probably easier to see that. So there we've got the one pocket on the left, one pocket on the right, both no pockets, both pockets, and both pockets with the buttons. And then we can change the shirt pattern. If you don't have any shirt pockets, and you don't have any shirt, if you have a shirt without buttons, then we can put an imprint on that shirt. And these are just Bug Illager's images I grabbed, but we can literally put any image on these shirts that we want. And this is our Respect My Personal Space shirt. And depending on the background color you make the clothing, the Respect emblem will not show up, so you need to change the color. So I've made this lever here to easily change the color of the Respect My Personal Space print, so that no matter what color shirt we give the character, we can show a Respect My Personal Space emblem on it. So like, let's give her a dark shirt. So like maybe this dark pink, make it purple. Yeah, so there we go. That's the fill. Oh, that's the socks. I'm sorry. Let's undo that. So let's change her shirt color. So we're going to go down to shirt. Right there. So we go to shirt, and we're going to make it a darker color. So let's make it a dark purple. So now you can see with that dark color purple, the Respect My Personal Space shows up much better now. And we just make the edges a little bit darker than the infill, and that gives us our new colored shirt. And again, we can change the color of the Respect My Personal Space to whatever color we need for that shirt. So that is how we change everything around for the character's clothing. And the character, you know, everything does move somewhat properly with the character. There are extremes that you have to be careful about. So when you tilt the character too far one way or the other, it will bubble over on the edges there. But if you're careful, there's no problems. The arms are fully manipulatable, and the hands, like I said. The head, you can twist the head like this. The neck twists, and the head tilts on the neck. So there's the neck control, and then there's the head control, and then there's the skull control. So you can do a lot with this head. And as you can see, the hair does flow side to side with the movement of the head to a certain point. And then we have the mouth controls, of course, or we can move her jaw up and down. We can make her smile or frown. We can open her mouth, lips, and close her lips. So the jaw opening and closing is different than the mouth opening and closing. So we'll be able to see the teeth and the gums coming up together as we need to. And we can make her scrunch her mouth short or stretch it as wide as she can. And I didn't want to make the character comical. These characters need to be as close to human as we can get so that people can relate to them easier. And then of course these are all tongue controls, so when you have the jaw all the way open and the mouth all the way open, you can get in there and see the tongue, and we can move the tongue around up and down, as you can see there, left and right, and we can make it wider. So if you notice it just got wider. Let me bring it up where you can see it better. So there we go. And we can, this one's wider, so we can make it narrower and wider. And then this one is pointed or rounded. So the wider it is, the more you can tell whether it's pointed or not. That is the mouth controls. And the next control over is for phonetic selection. So if you want to make the character say things, you need to select the right phonetic. You can do so, and then you can turn off the phonetic wheel so you don't have it showing. And if you set the mouth before you start using the phonetics, it will use those altered mouth settings. So if you want standard mouth speak, you want to select these bones and reset them before you begin doing your speech, because then your character's mouth is at the standard rest state for each position for the mouth. So as you can see here, if we turn the phonetic wheel on, you can see this is A, and then TH and L and E and S and so on. But if we manipulate the mouth first and say, well, I want her whispering, so we can shrink the mouth this way, and we can close it up some so that she's whispering. And now all of these phonetics will still create the same shape, but it will be altered by however we set the mouth to begin with. And the same with the tongue. If you alter the tongue, it's going to change that as well. So make sure if you're wanting a standard mouth shape for phonetic talking, that you've set these close to center, or just reset them before you begin selecting your phonetic mouth shape for whatever she's saying. Okay? And then again, you can turn the phonetic off. And since you can select that bone by itself, if you've turned it on and off during your animation and you find afterwards that, you know, oh my goodness, I've got that coming on and off all over the place, you just select the bone and you've got the red bone here. It shows you that you have that bone selected, and you can just highlight that and delete it, and now the phonetic mouth is no longer opened at all. Okay? And so then we've got the eyes, of course. So we can open and close the eyelids. Let's go ahead and go into the animation layer, frame 1. So, and if you'll notice, I changed the color of the shirt during animation, so it didn't change it in the base. You can do that. You can change it in the animation, or you can change it in the base where it goes through the animation. So just be sure that whatever you do, you've already saved the character as a new name and a new project before you start making these changes. Because if you don't, the next person that comes along will have to deal with your changes, and it may not be the changes they want. So don't ever work with the character as it, when you open it up. Always save as a new project. Say this would be Selari in the bedroom, or going through the toy box. And preferably if we can make little short animations that we can layer them once they're completed, that would be best. So anyway, if you're going to change the colors, make sure you've saved it as a new project. So then we're going to go to the eyes. So we're going to zoom in here so you can see the head. So the eyes will open and close. The eyelids open and close together, and we can turn whether this bone is linked to this bone or not simply by going in constraints and turning off that link. So we've got that. We can go left and right. We can go up and down. And we can make the pupils larger or smaller depending on mood, amount of lighting that we're trying to indicate, surprise or fear or whatever. So there's the eyes control. And then we have the head tilt, where she can tilt her head up and down. And we have the head turn, where she can turn her head back and forth. Now I know she doesn't look pretty side to side as she does looking straight on. But again, when we get better artists, we can get better looking characters. But this is what I've been able to do. This is where we're at now. So if you open up the latest version of each character, they pretty much work the same way. All the controls are identical for what they do to the character. So we are ready to begin animating Selari and Telar into our Choices game. Danger Aware has a new and important mission: to change the paradigm of abuse awareness through play and entertainment. We need help to accomplish our goals. We need stories that will entertain and will teach personal rights and how to call out abuse in the earliest stages. We need music, jokes, poems, and ideas of things that we can use to help educate the young and vulnerable. We need stories of triumph over abuse to inspire others in the correct ways to call out the precursors to abuse. If we expose the grooming, we can prevent the abuse. You can also help us through donations on our website, dangeraware.org. Or you can help finance our expansion into Colorado by visiting coloradogives.org/dangeraware. Or you can use paypal.me/dangeraware. Or you can visit our website and scroll down and use the PayPal Donate Now button. We also offer Danger Aware merchandise. Just visit dangeraware.org and click on the Respect My Personal Space notebook. That will allow you to then launch our Teespring store where you can buy Respect My Personal Space apparel. So if we explore, you can also get pillows with Selari and Telar on them, face masks, notebooks, sweatshirts, digital coloring book, and Respect My Personal Space apparel. So if you want to change the paradigm of abuse awareness, visit dangeraware.org. We want to make her short dress, so let's go into her legs. So I've got the character broken into two different parts here, the torso and the legs. The torso contains the head, and the head can be moved up and down over different parts, so the arms can be moved behind the head or in front of the head as needed during animation. But right now we're going to work on the legs, and so what you can see here, if we choose the legs and go to actions, and we're looking at the lower clothing, so we go to the lower clothing and we select the pelvis. You can see here that we have 5 different pelvis selections, but looks like 2 of them are the same, which is the dress. So we've got the underwear here, and then we've got the basic pelvis for the shorts, which also works for the dress, and then the pants. So it's the same pelvis all the way through here. Okay, so we don't need to change the pelvis. Then that's the left pelvis. The right pelvis is basically the same thing. So each of these is telling us which switch we have selected in this selection here. So you can see dress is currently selected. If I move down you can see now it shows underpants, and if we move even further it'll go to bare, and we move further up and it goes to pants. Alright, so we're going to add a secondary dress, so a short dress. So the dress exists on this timeline, from right there. Okay, so from 24 through 48 is the pelvis for dress. Okay, I guess we could change it to short pants when it goes to short pants, but for now we're just going to leave it a dress, and we don't need to change it because we're going to create a short dress, but we don't need to affect the pelvis at all for that, so we're going to leave those alone. Then we're going to go to the thigh. So here we can see that we've got the thigh, where at the beginning the thigh is bare. It stays bare for the underwear. It stays bare up until the short pants. Then we switch to short pants, which includes the legs in the short pants image. Then we switch to the dress, and then we switch to the shorts. And so we're going to split this dress in half. And so we're going to choose right here. Now before we can split it, we need to have the dress here. So you can see that we've got dress right here on the character. So we're going to go to the main line because we want to be building, and we're going to duplicate dress, and this is going to be short dress. And then we want to do this on both thighs. So we need to open the other thigh and duplicate the dress here and call it short dress. Alright, so now with the short dress, you can see that there's the with the long dress that we had created, you can see how I've got the layout of the dress with a rounded part near the knee, and then for the rest of the dress, that's on the shin. So if we go to the shin and we go to dress, then you can see the rest of the dress. Alright, so in this case we're going to not use a bottom part of the dress. We're going to keep the shins bare, and we're going to make the short dress up here and then select bare shins. So the only thing we need to change here is the short dress on the right and left thigh. And the reason they're separated is because when you stretch the legs out for a dress, the dress has to stretch with the legs. You see, so I have these points associated with this bone, but I have these points associated with the bone on the other side. And that way we can keep the dress as a dress no matter how much we spread those legs apart. We've still got a dress there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to simulate the bottom of the dress, and just as we did on the long dress. So let's go ahead and turn off the shin dresses so it doesn't confuse us. So let's see, there's the shin there and there's that shin there. So now we don't need to worry about the shins. We're worried about what does the dress look like. So now we can go into T for to select a point. We're going to select this point here, and we're just going to bring it up. And we're going to pick this point here and bring it up and out. So then we can bring this up a little higher and bring this up like this. And then we go to the other short dress. And we do similar activity here. We simply select the points and rebuild the dress to be a short dress. Now, she has no legs showing, so that means that we need to go in and get the legs to bring them out, because even if we turn the shins on, there's not going to be any knees showing when we show the short dress only. So let's go in here to bear, okay, and we're going to grab this leg and control copy. Then we're going to go back to short dress, and we're going to control V to paste it. Now that places it, but it puts it on top of the dress. Also, we really don't need all this thigh up here, because I mean, we might adjust the dress up and down some, but let's get rid of. So we're going to grab these points, holding shift, grabbing this point, these points, and these 2 points, and this point. We don't need any of that, so I'm hitting delete, and now we've got our thigh right down there where we need it. And then we're going to grab the dress and Control X, Control V, and now the dress is on top of the thigh. And just for good measure, we're going to grab the thigh bone, or the points, and just drag this in just enough that it will never poke outside of the dress there, while still maintaining our knee. And so we're going to do that for the other dress. So we go to, first we go to short dress, right there. Oh, we go to the bare thigh. So we're working on the thigh, not the dress. Keeping that in mind. We're working on the thigh just for the dress. So we're going to go Control Copy, copy this thigh. We're going to go back to the short dress, and oh, I've already got it there. Oh, that's not right. That's short pants. Where's short dress? Short dress. There we go. So now I'm going to control. So let's do that. I didn't realize I had done that at short pants. Let's just grab the same thigh that I used on short pants. So Control Copy. Then we go back to short dress. Control V. That places it, and because it obviously is from the other leg, we'll flip it and move it into place. And then grab the dress, Control X to cut it, and Control V to paste it on top of the thigh. And now we can grab this point, bring the dress out just a bit, so now the thigh is fully within the leg. So now we've got our parts. Now we go back into the lower clothing, and we need to be on the character here. And under lower the clothing, we're going to jump to, well, we want to be on the thigh here. So we're going to choose, let's see, here, left thigh. And here we can see where the dress changes. So we're going to go right there, and we're going to now change the selection for thigh to short dress. And then we're going to change for right thigh. Same way. Change that to short dress. And then for the chin, we want it to be bare. So bare, chin is right here, and we're going to go bare. So now we have our short dress. So we can go back out to our main line, go to our character, and because we had certain things selected as our static character, we now need to change those for each part. So we're going to go into Selari. So we're going to change the thigh to dress, and the chin to dress, and the other thigh to dress, and the chin to dress. So that will be her base look. So as we go from our construction to our base look, there's very little change. We need to look at those changes, but I think right now it's just cosmetic. Let's see. So now we can get into Selari and start manipulating her into any kind of pose and action that we need to do. So here is Selari in action. You can see that she's quite animate, and she's going to tell you something. She's going to say, I love you, and also respect my personal space. If you'd like to get one of these shirts, visit our website. You have a great day. Thanks for watching.